is the 17th African Investigative Journalism Conference is the biggest conference so far, comparing to the other 16, not only in terms of audience, but also in terms of incorporating 5 cities together and have many over 100 sessions altogether. So it's happening in 5 cities simultaneously. It's a hybrid conference, virtual and on in person, and all the sessions are live streamed and also recorded, so you can find the ones that we miss later on. So it's happening in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Abuja, Nigeria, Dakar, Senegal, Nairobi, Kenya, and Johannesburg, South Africa. It's happening across the continent in 3 time zones and with 3 co-hosts, and it's for 3 days. The primary host is Wits Center for Journalism at the University of Witwatersrand in South Africa. Co-hosts are For Your IMS here in Addis Ababa, Code for Africa in Nairobi and Dakar, and Premium Times in Abuja. Just to say a little bit about the co-hosts, IMS is a non-profit organization working to strengthen the capacity of media to reduce conflict, strengthen democracy, and facilitate dialogue. For Your works to strengthen and develop journalism and media around the world to ensure free, independent, and professional media and journalism. WITS is a program and a center for working journalists that's located in Johannesburg, South Africa. So today we are having our 2nd day, and the local sessions are master classes, and I believe you all installed HOVA, because you can find all the programs, the bio of the speakers, as well as what's happening on the parallel sessions in other cities. And you will know exactly the time when we're having each session. So the first session we will be having today is demystifying media narratives and misinformation using CivicSignal, as you see it over there. What it's all about, our speaker will tell us in a bit. My name is Mati Shoaye Yilma. I am a broadcast, in general, radio and TV producer and host, and I also moderate panels and facilitate workshops, MC events. So let me just give you a bit of a background, a bio of our presenter, Dawit Hassen. So Dawit Hassen is going to present this amazing session. You'll be fascinated, and because yesterday most of you were asking questions about fact-checking, and this is the hands-on practical session of all your questions from yesterday on fact-checking. Dawit Hassen is a research analyst at Code for Africa. He is based in Addis Ababa. He has a bachelor's degree from Wello University in computer science and a master's degree in MSc in information science from the Addis Ababa University. He was a chief technical assistant in Addis Ababa University, a senior lecturer at the Wolkite University, and currently a research analyst at Code for Africa. And you can find his contact details on HOVA. Dawit is going to give us not only a theory, but a practical presentation. So get ready to roll your sleeves. My sleeve is already rolled, so get ready to roll your sleeves and get to work. So now I give you Dawit Hassen.
Okay, thank you, Mati, and thank you for the organizers. It's give me a great pleasure to present the CivicSignal MediaCloud for you, because you have a good experience. And I know some of you have a good experience, and for me it's a great opportunity to show you how CivicSignal MediaClouds work. So my title is Demystifying Media Narrative and Misinformation using CivicSignal Cloud. So the outline of our presentation, the first, I give you as an introduction for artificial intelligence and introduction to CivicSignal MediaCloud. So there is another functionality on CivicSignal MediaCloud. So we will see I'll give you a brief introduction. Then after that, then we will have a demo session. So everyone has the chance to how the platform works. So I hope you will get the slides on your email. Ilham, did you share the slides? Did you share the slide for the participants? Okay. Okay. So let's give you a brief introduction to artificial intelligence. I think some of you have a clue about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence it's a science and engineering that creates intelligent machine. So the main goal of artificial intelligence is to create an intelligent machine. So AI is the new electricity. The scientists, they say that AI will be the new electricity because we use artificial intelligence system in day-to-day our lives. So the science in artificial intelligence, the main goal is to create like a system that think like human, that the system that acts like a human, the system that can act rationally and think rationally. So to develop an artificial intelligence system, we need a data. So data is the soul of the artificial intelligence system, and data is the new oil. Those who control the data, then they control the world. So the future of the economy is data. So in a day, more than 1.2 millions of data are created in social media. Facebook generates around 4 petabytes of data per day, and Twitter, within an hour, it's around 21 million tweets are created in data. So we need a technique, we need a system to find insight from those a large amount of data, because we are in a big data. So to find insight from a large amount of data, there is another technique which is called machine learning. So machine learning it turns data into information. So and a machine learning algorithm that can the main concept of machine learning is a computer system that learn from data. So there is a lot of algorithms in the machine learning system. Then the algorithms learns a pattern from the data, because we are in a large amount of data. Data by itself, it's raw, and it's raw fact, and it's meaningless because we didn't use the data for information decision making. So we need to process the data. So to process the data, you use an algorithms. Algorithms find a pattern and a solution for from the large amount of data. In machine learning, there are 3 techniques of learning. We call supervised learning, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. In supervised learning, we have a labeled data. For example, if we develop a system that can identify it's a cat or it's a dog, so we create a labeled data. This is the cat, this is the dog. Then when we give the new image, then it's identified this one is a cat, this one is a dog, because we are already give the information or we are already give the data a labeled data. But in unsupervised learning, the data is unstructured. Because in supervised learning, the data is structured. So unsupervised learning, the data is not structured. So for example, to find the customer segmentation based on their interest, we use unsupervised learning technique, and reinforcement learning technique is a kind of try and error. So the system try, then if it's find a solution, then we give a reward. Then if it didn't find the solution, it's punished. So then based on the goal of the interest, then try and error will be one of the types of reinforcement learning. The other one is a natural language processing. It is the interaction of the human and the computer, the human in the computer language. And one of the application of natural language processing is a machine translation. I know some of you are using Google Translator, so it's developed based on a machine translation technique. Translate one language to another language. The other one is speech recognition. It's a part of natural language and artificial intelligence. So AI is a broad area, like so you can assume that AI is like umbrella. On the artificial intelligence, there are subfields like machine learning, natural language, and the deep. So the system, then I'm gonna show you on this session. We have a CivicSignal MediaCloud. Okay. So the system I'm going to show you on the next on CivicSignal MediaCloud, which is developed based on machine learning and the natural language processing. So Code for Africa, CivicSignal. Code for Africa is the largest network of indigenous African civic technology and its investigative data journalism laboratory. CivicSignal is one research army for research and analysis army of the Code for Africa. CivicSignal data analysis, we use a platform, which is a media cloud platform, which is developed by MIT. So introduction to CivicSignal MediaCloud. CivicSignal Media is an open source African standalone content analysis tool that is focused on mapping and monitoring news media data. It's a CivicSignal MediaCloud platform. It's an open data platform, and you can store sources and queries on the platform. You can do analysis and visualizing the result using machine learning and NLP, and also you retrieve the data from the system. And there is also a lot of things on CivicSignal MediaCloud. So CivicSignal MediaCloud is it's free, and everyone have the capability to access the platform. So there are 4 basic functions on the platform. The first one is source managers, which is the origin of the source or the origin of the data, and you can do the analysis and the analysis part in Explorer. So if you want more dive to deep analysis, you can use topic mapper. There is also we have a media data, which is a combination of machine learning data and human research data for African media ecosystem. So the CivicSignal MediaCloud source, there is a source manager, which is it helps to understand the origin of the source of the data. So in source manager, we have a source. We call it source digital media data. So sources are saved under a collection. Collection represents its a country. So we have more than 54 collection in all African content. Then the platform, Signal Media platform, works on African content. So here is the Ethiopian collection. In Ethiopian collection, we have around 79 media collection, and you can modify collection, review the sources, and then the content history you can find on the source. Then the main part of the analysis part you are doing is in Explorer. Explorer show you how the topics covers or get attention on the media. So there is also entities that show you more. So in Explorer, we have around more than 100 millions of collected all over in Africa in digital news. So to find a solution or to find answer from your Explorer or to do analysis on an Explorer, you must to construct a query, which means query means a question. So creating a query or constructing a criteria, the first one is keywords. For example, let's say we find a solution or we find how Ethiopian medias get covered about COVID or how COVID get attention on Ethiopian medias. We develop a query. So query, like the keyword is like COVID, vaccine, coronavirus will be the keywords. Then we use a Boolean connector. So and or, so the and both of the statement must be true. When we use or, either of the statement is true. We use a quotation for 2 words. We use a quotation. We use comma instead of or. We use a parenthesis for the similar terms. And there is also, we didn't use @ and asterisk, @ and hashtag in the query because it's a respond error. And we need also a source manager for when we constructing query. On source manager, we have a source and the collection. Finally, we use the Explorer platform. So when you constructing query, keywords, booleans, sources, and the collection plus Explorer, then it gives you a solution. So let's construct one query, which is how the COVID-19 coverage in Ethiopia medias. So when we're creating a query, there are when I find the headlines of the So let's take COVID-19 coverage in Ethiopian media. There are two things on the platform. It's retrieved there are two types of results. The first one is the body of the story, and the second one is the headlines of the story. So if you want to find the solution, or if you want to do analysis on the headline of the story, we use a title, then title colon, then you put the query. So I create this query to find how media attention get on Ethiopian, how the COVID-19 get attention on Ethiopian media. So coronavirus, COVID vaccine, and in English and Amharic version. So when you put the query on in search items, then you are selecting the media sources. For example, if you want to work for the Kenya, for another country, you can find the media sources on on the media. Then also you give the time frame. So within the period of the time, it's find the solution. So starting from January 1st, 2021 to October 11. So based on the results, the analysis, if the system or the platform give this attention over the time result. So this is the comparison attention paid on your query to understand how they are covered. So when we see the graph, no noticeable spike from January to April, because the graph is flat. So after May, it's increasing it's on the media. The graph is changed, which is mention of coronavirus and COVID vaccine received increasing coverage up to October. So we do the analysis here, why the media gets more attention starting from May, and why the media is not covered the COVID and vaccine before May. Then why this spike is created, because if you see there is high spike, show this high spike is around of 75 story per day. So this will be, we will do this, the analysis part here. Then also there is another result. It show you the total attention, which is the total stories that covered on the media. So we got around of 5,000 media stories, and also it shows top words. The top word is associated to the topic of the interest within a given period of time. These 100 top words are created based on the frequency of the occurrence. So vaccine, COVID, hospital, these are the top words from the stories. And we have also word space. It's word space is a media cloud provide word space to understand how words are used together to find the conversation within the reports. So sorry about the quality of the image, because it's give you more detail when you use on the system. So COVID and the vaccine is one type of related word. Then when you click in another area, then it's give you COVID and hospital. So how two words are together for this part. There is also another entity on entity. It shows the top people. So who is being talked about? So what are the top people are get attention on the media? So based on from the total query, it's give a rank. Then for example, Leah Tadessa is 2% getting attention on the media, and why Tony Hollands gets more attention rather than the Liat Sadasa, because the Minister of Health in Ethiopia. So why this kind of situation are why the Tonys get more attention rather than Dr. Lias. And also the other one is to do the analysis. We use top organization, which organization and companies are being talk about. So like AstraZeneca, Delta, Johnson and Johnson, it's types of vaccine. Then Department of Health, EU, CDC. So why those organizations are get more attention on the media? So you do the investigation on based on this result. The last thing is how to access CivicSignal MediaCloud. It's free for everyone. So for investigative journalism, you need a data to investigate or to find the solution. So we have a platform that have more than 10 millions of data stories in all African content. So you can use CivicSignal for your investigation journalism. So if you find if you got the slide, then you can access the link is CivicSignal MediaCloud homepage. Then you can create an account. So I'm gonna share the query for you guys. Then we will see the demo.
So Ilham has shared the demo, the link for the demo. So if you have laptop, I don't think it works on the mobile, no? So only on the laptop, but you can, if you have one laptop per table, I think you can just start using it, demonstrating it. So open your emails and you will find an email from Ilham. The Wi-Fi password is MOH, capital M, capital O, capital H, 2014. So that's Hilton, Open Hilton. I think Hilton Honors, capital M, capital O, capital H, 2014. Have you found the
You can write on the address part CivicSignal MediaCloud. Then you can find the link. If you didn't find the slide, if you didn't get the slide, then write CivicSignal.MediaCloud or MediaCloud.CivicSignal. and the analyst part. Okay, there is option. You can find the source manager, the topic, the media data, and topic mapper explorer on a menu. So let's do the analysis part on Explorer. So when you click on Explorer, it's give you the homepage will be like this. Then you go do click on search. Then when you click on the search, it's give you the all story, or you can add the query on this on this window, on this page. So you can enter the query here, enter the search item, then select the media source, then we give the time period. So I already create the query, so let me copy and so we have the query. We have a search term query, then we will add the media sources. By default, when you open the Explorer, it's added the media Kenya. So we remove the Kenya, then on Ethiopian media sources. When you click on add media sources, let me do it again. When you click on add media, then it gives us the source of our media sources. Then it shows the source of the media sources, and we will find the source from future collection. Then on future collection, there is a lot of media sources. You can use search source collection. Then we can search a collection, like here we can type Ethiopia. So the first one is browse the search, browse the future. Then the second one is search the source collection. Then you can click on search collection. Then you can also click a search collection. Then type the search, the country if you want to do a analysis. So Ethiopia, then search, then it will find then the collection from it find Ethiopia from the collection. Then we click on the plus sign. Then when you click on the plus sign, it's on the selected media, Ethiopia, then click OK. Then we give the time period. So let's do from start first and January 1st to October 12th, 2021. Then we run the query. So we click on search. Then it gives us a solution here. So this is the results based on our query. Then when you move around on the graph, it shows you detailed information about how many stories are covered on that date, and the top of the graph or the high spike is on around of 81 stories in August 24. So when we click on August 10 on the high spike or date for August 21, August 5. So why the graph get high spike on that date? So we will see detailed information. We get a detailed information on the story related. So there are three results when you run the query. You get or when you run the query. The first one is attention. So the total over attention over the time period, and detailed information, and the total number of the stories within a given period of time. And also it gives us a sample story which is related to our query. So we can download you can also have a download option. Then we can download the whole stories on a file. Then you can do the analysis for more detailed analysis. There is also another option on Explorer, the language. So on language, we got a top word space, and top themes. So the first one is top word. It's a result based on the frequency of the occurrence on the story. So there is top words like vaccine. So how many times our vaccine are used on within this given period of time, which is around of more than 300 times vaccine. So we got this graph because our query is vaccine, because vaccine and COVID. So maybe starting from May, the medias give attention about COVID and the vaccine. The other one is word space. It's used to understand which word are using together to find the sub conversation. So when you scroll on around the graph, you will find the results. So like coronavirus pandemic is a related word, and also top themes, which it shows what are the result of the story. So all the media is covered about the medicine and health, disease and condition, test and testing. So total news coverage grouped into themes to identify the different narratives. The other one is entity. On entity, it's fine. The first one is top people, looking at who is being talked more about, given a sense of, and why the media is focusing issue on those people. So you do the investigation here. And also top organization, it's related to top people. So it's looking which organization and company are being more talked about, given sense of how the media is focusing on the issue on the organization. Then the other one is geographical coverage. For the time being, our platform didn't show you the detailed information about the geographical coverage. So this will be the Explorer. Then if you want to add more query, then you can click on the plus sign. Then you can do the lot of query or at the same time. You can run more than one query at a time. And if you want to rename the query name, then you can click on the three dots, then rename the query. Then if you have more than two queries, then you can rename the query. Then based on the query name, the graph will be here displaying COVID-19. And also, actually, we don't have any query, but we add another query. Then it shows on the graph all stories, but we didn't have any query to find the solution. The sources, the collection of sources, each collection represents a country. So we have more than 54 collections in our platform in all over African content. So you don't have the privilege to create and add a source. You have the only option to find or to investigate data from the sources. So most of the time you use Explorer for the investigative, for especially for analysis part. So I think this could be enough for the time. And if you want to use more our platform, you can here is my email address. You can write me an email, then we'll give you a detailed information, and we will give you a detailed training how to use the CivicSignal MediaCloud platform. And if you have a question, okay, my email is Dawit at Code for Africa. Dawit at Code for Africa. So you can write me email.
Thank you so much, Dawit. I know something technical like this will be so difficult with theory, and we can only master if we do it time and again. But from all the things, if you have burning questions, we have about few minutes to start the narration, so you can ask Dawit. Okay, Nugus, microphone. Okay, Nugus one, and there is one gentleman here. Let's see if we can accommodate the two questions, and then we'll come to you.
Hi, my name is Nugus. First of all, great job. We really like the system. One update is that the confirmation email goes to the spam, so you should check your spam to get the confirmation email. So I have a few questions on how you get the data, how you collect the data. Is it only on RSS feed based, or does the media houses know that these data are used for these purposes? And also, how accurately does it represent the media platform of the countries shown? And the other question is, I feel like it's a lot of collecting and sorting out data. And how do you apply artificial intelligence system on this platform, and what use does artificial intelligence has? And my last question is, how often do you update the media lists, so that because I checked some of the lists in the media list, and some of say page not found. So how often does this list get updated? Thanks.
Okay, thank you. The first one, we got the information from the media, digital media sources. So we didn't ask any media companies or we didn't send a confirmation about how we use their data. So because it's already on the channel. So for example, Sifana broadcasting site, so it's available on free for everyone to read the content of the news. So we use only the link, then our system is the platform is doing find the solution from the content. We didn't do anything on the server, or we didn't do any access or we didn't do hacking their system. We only do things the story. We collected data from the story. So when you run the query, it finds the solution from the page. We didn't do anything on backend or backend on the server. And we didn't ask any media sources to use their data because it's free and available for everyone. And the other one is your second question. Your system are working. How your system are applying machine learning? It's applying machine learning, natural language processing. The first one you see when you see find the analysis like top organization, then it's use natural language processing. It find the frequency of the occurrence of the word. So this is the types of things doing on the natural language processing. I think maybe we can talk more detail on after maybe on the lunch session or coffee break. Okay.
Thank you, Dawit, for the presentation. My name is Elias Musarar. I'm editor of Ethiopian Check. It is somehow very related. This platform is related. Probably, Dawit, are you aware of CrowdFunding?
Yeah.
So it allows us to monitor online news, but CrowdFunding is mostly Facebook-based one. So I think it works the same way. But the good thing about this one is that this is for free. Because I know there are different organizations who wanted to use CrowdFunding, but it's not a free one. So it's great that you made a presentation about it. My question is a bit out of this, but since you touched on the subject of artificial intelligence, I want you to explain a bit about deepfake. I mean, as someone who came from a background of fact-checking, I think my biggest worry in the months and years to come is the issue of deepfake, because in Ethiopia we are still talking about photoshopped items, fake photos, photos that are taken from Nigeria, from Cameroon, being presented as something that happened in Ethiopia and stuff, which are very ordinary, and is getting to era of deepfake, in which they are pitting two different artificial intelligence to create videos and sound. And probably you may have seen some videos, stating that the US president has made a press statement, but in reality, that's not true. It is a deepfake video. So, how can we counter deepfake? Some say it is only through artificial intelligence that we can get, so what's your opinion about that one, and how can
because we don't have time. I think that's it.
Actually, the on artificial learning, which is the concept is it's mimic the human brain, how human brains are works. They develop the algorithm. It's an artificial neural network. So use artificial neural network algorithm for computer vision. So deepfake algorithm is one types of a computer vision, which is to work. It's also my worry because everyone when I'm listening on the medias, they are only talking about the highest level of the science of artificial intelligence, even if no one is about how deepfake algorithms work. So actually, it's challenging to find to detect a fake news, especially fake image and fake videos, because behind the scene everything is working these algorithms. So algorithms the thing is deepfake algorithm is working using deep learning algorithms. So when we more focus on to detect the fake news or a fake image or a fake the data, we didn't find if it's fake or not. So for it's a challenge to justify that this or how the fake image and fake news are detected, because the goodness and also the it's make like sorry if you are it's confusing for me, because we are talking yesterday, we are talking with the Murti about the deepfake, how we can handle this information, because we didn't any solution or any platform to can talk on coffee break. I think we are running time.
So minutes, the live session will start. So if your question is like 20 seconds and his answer 20 minutes, then we'll be good. Okay, so his question is, can it be done in a country level? And the second question is, be used for media monitoring.
Yeah, the system is developing for media monitoring. How the media's give attention for the stories. For example, when we see how the media's are get attention about COVID. So why and also when you check, you sometimes you didn't find any result. So why the media didn't get covered for this story? So we do the analysis here. Then the collection is based on the country, because under the collection we have a list of sources for example, in Ethiopian collection we have a private and government media sources. So you can find the solution both from the private and the government's own sources.
Thank you so much, Dawit. Dawit Hassen from Code for Africa is a research analyst, and he told us about using CivicSignal. You can talk to him, you can ask him more questions later on, but for now, please let's say thank you to him. This actually, the demo was done specifically for you, for the effort, the time that your team together for this particular conference. Thank you, Dawit. Let's thank him together. So now we will go to the first plenary session that's happening live for all of us, all of the 5 cities. And the plenary session is building data-driven investigation. How strong how strong are the ecosystems that support data-driven journalism in Africa, and where are the gaps? Data journalists and scientists come together to discuss the challenge and limits facing the African continent. So that's going to be live, and after that we'll have a coffee break, and after the coffee break we'll continue with the second plenary session.